Hello everyone, it's Danny Hardesty again on my civil rights allegations and complaint strategies that I've had to develop over the past 5 years to get someone to comply to the rules and regulations of the Constitution of the State of Arizona and the Constitution of the United States, opposing the oath of loyalties due to its disenfranchisement and dictatorship of a privately chosen faith-based organization, or anyone else for that matter, when we should have a oath of affirmation to our Constitution and the rights. This is a direct violation of our civil rights, and in which way? Let me explain. It allows an individual to dictate to a privately chosen faith-based organization, because they might work for the state or the federal government, what complaints are valid from the citizens of the state that have a right to a frequent occurrence of general principles, which I am imposing another public notice to the state and to the federal government and to Special Agent Dan Johnson, a public disclosure that I am still being bullied by the courts for their malicious prosecution. I got a letter saying I didn't pay my fine and I didn't go to drug classes for a medical marijuana card I could not afford. They claimed it was a religious defense. I claimed there was no criminal intent, there was no mens rea, they couldn't show any criminal intent. They went ahead and extorted the state and the federal government and got paid for those actions while giving me no attorney, no fair day in court, no appeal. And due to my lack of, I'm not an attorney, and I wanted one. I requested one multiple times. I asked for dismissals multiple times. I'm going to ask them to dismiss this. I want to know about the subjugation bond, because I'm here to claim it. I feel that these people do not allow themselves to be regulated and want to regulate. That I have a problem with, a big problem with. That's not equal, fair, or equitable treatment under the eyes of the law, no matter which way you look at it. They've been doing this since the state became a state. Now, that's the problem when they didn't ratify their oath of loyalties when the Constitution came out with an oath of affirmation. Okay, I'm showing a direct conflict of interest with those two specific issues. The legislature of Arizona, I have a right to a frequent occurrence of general principles, and I have a right to dispute individually anything they do. And I'm disputing a lot of things that they do publicly. And one of them is not adhering to the state constitution and the federal constitution, or having an internal affairs division that regulates and polices its own people, leaving it up to the FBI, which most members have been for generations and are members of a privately chosen faith-based organization like Sheriff Richard Mack. Okay, point in case. Went and became an FBI agent, went through all the courses. You know, he has an oath of loyalty to his religious order. He cannot question the authority of his church. That directly circumvents my constitutional rights. So an FBI agent that is doing that is not following the guidelines of the United States Constitution, the USC codes, or the Constitution of the State of Arizona. I don't know how the investigation is going, but I still haven't heard if any of the victims that I mentioned for the allegations of Kenneth Engel letting people go from his own privately chosen faith-based organization for child molestation of Cindy Reed's son, who is now in prison, that Kenneth Engel buried so far back in there that he didn't think he'd ever see the light of day again or have to face this. Well, let me tell you, Kenneth Engel, I will not let this sit silent. And you will be accountable for your actions, and you need to leave. You need to resign immediately. If you can't be regulated, you have no authority regulating anyone else. It's as simple as that. It's common sense. And I don't think I'm out of line as a person that's supposed to have a frequent occurrence of general principles, and you're supposed to derive your just powers from, as the government, from individuals like me and anybody else out there. So, you know, it's time for Arizona to wake up It's time for us to not be afraid of our jobs, not be afraid of what they can do to us, of how they can bully us. They keep sending me letters bullying me, saying that I need to go to court because I didn't pay my fine. I need to go to court because I didn't go to a drug class. It was for a medical issue. Has nothing to do with criminal. I had no criminal intent, period. I will be there in court that day, but let me repeat this. I am not making an appearance. I am not making an agreement with you whatsoever. If you're going to lock me up, do it. I will be a political prisoner at that point, and then I'll have more just cause to sue you individually, anybody involved. So I think that I have a case, and I think that I have a reason and a just cause in good faith to deny their regulation of me in this particular circumstance. Thank you. Everyone have a nice day.